Peace be with you. What's
Yes,
popping,
yes,
everybody?
yes.
You are now
We
watching
back in his
Show. We
house.
back with some extra credit, and we're gonna send a little shout out to the sponsor. If you want to do any, because I just thought about it. I don't think I should have sent a shout out to them last episode, or I didn't. I might have put it up on the screen, but I don't think about mentioning it. But if you want to do any podcasts like what you're watching, music videos, photo shoots, call the number on the bottom of the screen, 707 Fit Boxer. And we just gonna jump straight in because
All
getting
right.
kind of hungry. Low key want some sushi, but
Ooh.
that's for after the
Okay.
show. See,
All right. All right.
but we got 74
Yes.
all the way to 50 on the top NFL players list, voted on by the players.
For the players.
By the players and for the players, my brother. Uh,
Essentially.
but at 74, I mentioned him before, Demario Davis,
Mm,
73, Cordero Patterson, 72, Quandre Diggs,
mm.
71, Jason Kelsey. At
Okay.
70, we got Tyrann Mathieu. 69, his teammate now, Cam Jordan. 68, Zach Martin.
Okay.
At 67, we got Buda Baker.
Okay.
Does any
So,
part of this stand out to you?
Honey Badger. Honey Badger. Honey Badger is a guy who I know he's a little bit older in age. They're gonna start saying, "Oh, you're longer in the tooth," but he's not that old. I believe he's exactly what 29. I
Mm,
think I could around that age because I think he's actually born the same year as me. I believe he was born in '92. Um, but anyway, he's either way. He's always been a top three, top five safety in the league. So he's an elite level safety. Obviously, he left the Kansas City Chiefs for another team, but he was an integral piece to their back end. So anytime that they didn't have him there, then you're gonna have problems. So when you have someone who can cover, somebody who can play the slot,
just turned 30.
he just turned 30. Okay, so but he was born what 92, 90, 92, 91, something like that.
92.
92. Okay, so shout out to class in 92, the year 92, the greatest year ever. But anyway, no. I had to put that out there, you know what I'm saying? Dream Team Jordan 92, Bill Clinton, the whole nine. Anyway,
Celebrating Bill Clinton? Bill Clinton?
nah, Bill is just a funny dude. He's not my favorite president, but anyway, I'm a JFK Obama guy. But anyway, but we're not here to talk politics. So Tyrann Matthew. But see, this is
Please,
why we love our show, man. We just
please.
we just have so much personality on our show. Um, yeah, I just always thought Bill was a funny dude. But anyway, Tyrann Matthew, yeah, he's someone I think we both can agree with. He's always been a top five safety in this league. Um, there's guys who are coming. Period. You have the Jamal Adams of the world. I'm not even saying he's the best safety right now, Tyrann Matthew, but you have the Jamal Adams of the world. There's like three other guys I wanted to mention. Old boy from the
James,
Chargers,
nasty.
from the Chargers, yes, Derwin
Yeah,
James. Thank you very
James.
much. Would you say Derwin James is the best in the league, or one, two, something like that? Top
In
three?
my personal opinion, he's the best.
Okay, that's fair. Um, so yeah, he's somebody there, and Zach Martin. I think Zach Martin is actually kind of fair on this list. I think
Yeah,
he's someone, Ralph, who's slowly crept up the list in terms of going back. When I mean up, I think going back um each year.
yeah.
Obviously when we talk about durability getting older, but other than that, I don't really have any issues. I kind of want you to expound on yours if you have any.
Me
Um,
personally, man, I'm
yeah,
actually I'm
on it.
kind of cool with everybody that's on there. It's like I
All
think
right.
Kelsey is still he's older, but he's still a high quality um offensive lineman. Tyrann Matthew, I think one could argue because
Mm,
he's still relatively young that that he should possibly be higher.
yeah.
I definitely feel like Cam Jordan is too low.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you for mentioning Cam Jordan. My bad. I'm sorry. Cam's
Yeah.
been productive.
I think Cam and Buda Baker are some people that should be a little higher. They
Oh,
should
Buddha.
definitely be in that 50 range,
Right.
in my personal opinion. Now I think Baker
Mm,
is a little should be a little higher because if it ain't, I do feel like if it's unless I'm just straight up missing someone because I don't think that Micah Hyde is better than
mm,
them.
mm.
And
You made me think of another safety route. Jordan is it Poyer?
yeah,
Yeah, we didn't get to that, but I'm just thinking I would probably take no Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde, that Buffalo Bill duo. I
yeah,
might take him over Tyrann Matthew. Just saying, I might
yeah.
right now.
Them
Right now.
over Matthew,
Right,
yes, but
right now.
not
Yeah, yeah.
over. But I'm
Buddha.
not taking them over
No, right.
Buddha.
Yeah, no, 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 no.
So for me, it's like yeah, I take them. If two names that stick out to me is, I'll have to look at Buddha Baker and Cam Jordan. I would have to bring them up a little higher.
Okay.
Well, we haven't mentioned it yet, but the 50
Yeah.
round. But
Okay.
next
Because you
up,
know
we
what?
got DeForest Buckner
Ooh, someone who I haven't really heard of in a minute.
my
Um,
quarterback. Derek
yeah,
Carr at 64, at 65.
man, don't cry. No.
At 64, we got Devin White.
Ooh.
At 63, we got Jalen Waddle.
Mm-hmm.
At 62, we got Chandler Jones.
Mm-hmm.
At 61, we got Russell Wilson.
Mm,
At 60, we got Corey Linsley. At
mm,
59, we got Mad Max. And then we good.
mm. Okay. This one is interesting. I don't want to speak blasphemy to your quarterback. I think your quarterback is underappreciated. Some will say underrated, some will say overrated. At this point, I think everyone knows where I stand about Derek Carr. I think he's a solid quarterback. I think he's a top 10 quarterback still. I don't care what anyone says. He's a top 10 quarterback. I wouldn't put him in the upper echelon, but he's a top 10 because I think when I see like the list, you have a guy on there who hasn't played in 2 seasons on that list. You can talk about him being more skilled, but he hasn't played in 2 seasons. And Deshaun Watson, so by default, you're not on there.
Right.
Dak Prescott or Derek Carr. Me personally, I'm taking Derek Carr. I just feel like some things need to align for the Raiders organization for him to
Yeah.
just be in the playoffs. That's it. That's it. But I think after that, then I kind of halt. I halt the thing. Russell Wilson, I think he's underappreciated, not by the players per se, but I just like every time I talk to fans and stuff, they still believe this is the Russell Wilson from like literally. I just had a conversation with someone whose name will remain nameless, but I just had a conversation about the AFC West, and like he was talking about Russell Wilson as if like I was like, huh? Like I didn't get it. I'm like, no, Russell Wilson is a consummate professional, the consummate quarterback. The coach's quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's why people don't like him or something like that. And I get
Maybe,
the whole personality stuff, but it's Russell Wilson, bro. He should be higher for me. For higher, it's Russell Wilson. I seen him
right.
carry a team when Cliff Averill, when Richard Sherman. I know it was years ago, but all them people went down. He was carrying the team, so he should be higher. And then you mentioned somebody else, Corey Linsley's center, right?
Yeah.
So he's one of the better centers in the league. He's fine. Max Crosby, underrated. Max
Yes.
Crosby. Okay, I'm gonna hit you like this, Ralph, and I'll let you, kind of speak on your boy. Max Crosby is one of those guys. He's a Pro Bowl level talent, and it's almost like people don't know he is.
Right.
It's like you see him in the game, but it's like because he's not. I don't know what it is. He gets overshadowed. He gets overshadowed from by guys like and that's why if it's hard for me to come up with the guys' names, that's why he's underrated. He gets overshadowed by guys on the edge like okay, TJ Watt.
Right.
Not saying he's better than TJ Watt, but I think because there are players like a TJ Watt, like a Miles Garrett, people don't look at Max Crosby the way they should.
Mm-hmm.
Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa, great players, not knocking them. They're in your division. But I feel like from what I see from Crosby, any moment in a game, he can have moments where he's playing on that level. Yes, he destroyed my team with Alejandro Villanueva, but he still produces. He had a great season last season.
Yeah.
So Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa, he can be at that level. Maybe not the TJ Watt level, maybe not the Aaron Donald level, definitely not the Aaron Donald level. But
He can still take over a game though. He took over the end of that Chargers game.
thank you. So as Lamar Jackson would say, it's a conversation. So go ahead. I think he should be higher.
I
I
do
think
too, man. I think he
a
should be
little
in
bit
that
higher.
40 range.
Yeah, that's
I
nice.
would
No,
link
cool,
him
cool.
up to that 40 range. I do think that Russell Wilson is being undervalued. I think
This is
that Chandler
undervalued. That's it.
Jones
Mm.
potentially could be higher,
Mhm.
and Evan White should definitely be higher. He's like
Mm.
a crazy athlete,
Thank you. Middle linebacker,
right?
Bucks. Freaking great linebacker core.
And as much as I want to say Derek Carr should be higher,
He's solid for you.
I do think that how I view him
Mhm.
is higher.
Than whatever else does.
But to understand, it's like what the whole vote is.
Right.
I think once you get him with, if he produces the way that I believe him and Devontae Adams will produce,
Yeah.
I think that he will be higher on the list next year.
They just need that playoff
Exactly.
wins experience up. I think you guys got robbed though. Well, now I know because that what was it? They blew the whistle
Yeah.
and all that, bro. The game y'all should have won that game. That's 7 points. But
Right.
anyway,
Right.
anyway,
And so up next to finish out this list, we got Darren Waller at 58, Kyler
mm,
Murray at 57,
mm,
Xavier Howard at
mm-hmm,
56,
mm-hmm,
Joel Batonio at 55.
mm-hmm,
The man in the middle, 54, we got Jeffrey Simmons for the Titans.
mm-hmm.
Mr. Consistent, 53, we got Mike Evans.
Okay.
Used to be your boy. Now he plays for the Patriots. At 52, we got Matthew Judon.
Who? No, I'm playing.
Then we got Mr. Throw Them Hands himself at 51, Alvin Kamara. Then
mm.
at 50, we got Micah Hyde.
Ooh.
Now, because I've let you go first for pretty
Yeah,
much
go
all of
ahead.
them,
Go. Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna jump this one off. For me,
That's a tough one
when
actually.
we talk about corners, we all know
Yeah.
how I feel about Xavier Howard. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, I just feel like the fact that he travels and guards the best receiver and
Mm-hmm.
travels and he produces, I feel like he should be so much higher
Mm-hmm.
on this list. I think that Mike Evans could potentially, I think he's right about where he should be. I think he could potentially be higher because he's Mr. Consistency, he's model of consistency. I think that Matthew Judon is a little high.
I could agree. I'm not even being like animosity. I think he's just a little high, just a little bit.
I do think that if you go and if you look at the quarterbacks,
Mm-hmm.
I think that
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray is being, and we all know how I felt about Kyler Murray,
Yeah. Oh, he's still nice. Yeah. Yeah. He's
but
still
I
good.
still feel like he hasn't produced
Mm-hmm.
without D Hop. So for me, I
Mm-hmm.
can't have you higher than Derek.
Good question.
Potentially,
Right. Mm-hmm.
yeah, but
No
not
playoff.
currently.
No playoffs. Right.
And
Performances. No
so,
good playoff performances. Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
then Alvin Kamara is one I'm
Yeah. They just threw him to the wolves.
why is he getting why is he so low?
They threw him to the wolves, man. That's why. You know how it be with them. You know.
He's at least like 40 and within 1 to 40.
Bro, remember how they talked about AB? I'm not justifying his behavior, but when behavior comes up, people were like, you had receivers talking about, oh, he wasn't in their top five, like all not all time list, but like I don't know what it was. Remember they were coming out with like different top fives. I'm like, yo,
Yeah,
did AB like die when he
right.
in his prime? Like
I
what?
feel like Waller should be a little higher, but he get hurt too much for me. So,
Yeah, yeah. But talent wise,
but
definitely
talent
on
wise, he
par with.
definitely should be higher.
All right, all right,
But at the same time, it's like, bro, you got to be on the field. The
right.
best
Yeah,
ability
you do.
that an athlete can have is availability.
Mm. Saquon Barkley.
So for me, it's like, yeah, I there's some things where this list is just crazy
Yeah.
because I just feel like the players list is you give what is it 1 through 10 or something like that, or
Mm-hmm.
they go and they rank it based off they add the votes up and then they kind of put people at certain spots. So I'm curious, like if if after the vote came out, would the
Uh-huh.
players go in and change votes?
Mm.
How do the players feel about the list? Because just because I voted a certain way doesn't mean that the list came out the way that I wanted it to be voted.
Well, players will also hype up players from their own team too.
Right,
Kind of like Cooper and Odell. Not saying Odell's not a talent, whatever, but he wouldn't be
right.
like a top 10 right now. Like 4 years ago, he would be easily like probably top 10 game change, all that kind of.
Yeah.
stuff.
And I
I,
think
I don't have an issue with it too much though. With
yeah,
this
I just feel like
situation.
there's certain people that should be a little higher, and there's certain people that should be a little lower.
Yeah,
I feel like they're.
you
I feel
missing
like some
someone.
people are based off. They're going based off potential
Uh huh.
versus like what they're actually doing currently.
Right.
Because I'm like, there's no way that we go through and you look at the big picture and you have
Mhm.
Kyler Murray over Derek Carr.
Well, I have one. If you have Darren Waller there, Saquon Barkley should be there. With all due respect, he has all the talent in the world, but Saquon Barkley has repeatedly shown that he has an injury history, a recurring injury history each year. And also running back position. I know it's an expendable position, but it is because look at Le'Veon Bell and then what James Conner and others have been able to do, even in the playoffs. I'm not knocking Derrick Henry. Let's not. I don't want Taylor Lewan coming. I mean, like he came at Ryan Clark on on busting with the boys. He's like, all I hear is you talking crap about Derrick Henry on ESPN. Yo, Ryan Clark did not want him to call him the best back in the league. Hey, look, man, I just say when people ask me my personal opinion, bro, real quick, not to get too far off topic, who's the best back in the league? As Lamar Jackson would say, it's a conversation because I think there's like three guys that you could say the best, and for me. But I get why people say Derrick. But we did shut him down in
Wait,
the
who's the
playoffs.
third one?
The third one, I can't think right now off the top of my head. I'm glad you pressed me about it, but I can't think about it. But I do know there's like it's a
'Cause
conversation
I'm like,
between
if it
two
ain't
guys.
Jonathan Taylor or Derrick Henry, I don't want really want to hear
Oh
nobody
no no
else.
no no no. Me personally, I always have to give C Mac credit for what he does because Panthers have no quarterback. Right? They don't have no quarterback now. You know that,
He
and
also
he's been
can't stay on the
doing
field either. We talking
right.
about injuries here.
That's true. That's true. That's true. But when he is on the field, when he's on the field, it's beautiful things, man.
Like his talent is nice, but he just don't
It
never be on
is.
the field.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. He would be three. He'd be three.
I can
You know
see
what I'm
that.
saying?
I can see that
Um.
because talent alone. Because when he was like before he
Yeah.
had injury problems, he
Right.
gave us 2 good years, and then it just was full of
Yeah.
injuries.
But I'm just saying. But if we're talking about injuries and like guys like Saquon, I was just bringing it all back together. Like Darren Waller, if he's there, I'm actually curious to know where a guy like Saquon is because I feel like Saquon's always hurt. And I liked him coming out of college. You know how I felt about him. I was like, yo, this dude's the truth.
Yeah, he had one good. He had that rookie season, and he's been hurt ever since.
Facts is like, what did Jay-Z say? Had a spark when you started. Now you're hot. Now I'm not gonna say,
Right,
but you know what I'm saying.
right.
Shout out to
But
Saquon, man.
check us out next week where we talk about 50 all the way through. Not 50, but because I think we hit 50. We're gonna go through 49 through 25
Right.
next week, and then finish it off the week after that. Next week we will be breaking down the NFC West.
Ooh. Oh, that would be easy one, right? That'd be easy.
Not just the NFC West, but that's just the leader of everything. That's the one I really can't wait to talk about. I like the NFC West. I want to see who comes out of that division. But we'll be breaking down the NFC as a whole. But NFC West is one can't wait to talk about. Are the Cowboys going to win it up? Are the Cowboys going to win their division? Doubt it.
That's a
Uh,
conversation. That's gonna be my quote, man. My
will
go-to.
Tom Brady be able to beat the Saints?
Oh, uh-oh. Man, I got killed for saying no on that one, but anyway.
Bro,
That's another story.
he could not beat Jameis Winston.
Right.
And then some just run of the mill.
Defense or whatever, offense, whatever they had rolling on.
Yeah, quarterback that was like in the second game. He lost to Jameis in the first one.
Bro, that quarterback was low key balling though, man. I was like, man. But anyway.
Check us out next week. We'll holla at y'all. Peace.